Hi everyone, it's Tammy. We're going to do a really fun exploding card. I know I've done a video on this before, but I wanted to do another one to kind of show you a different example. This one is going to be done with the Garden in Bloom stamp set. That is super cute. I really love this stamp set. And this is going to be a similar card to the one we're making today. So it looks like that on the outside, and then you open it up to this. I just think that these cards are so much fun and I really enjoy making them. And I did a tutorial just a little bit ago, but I thought that I would do a second one using a different stamp set so you guys could kind of get a feel for just how to do separate stamp sets. In the front of the card, I'm going to just kind of make my own designer series paper. Not really, but kind of. I am using lots of different colors, and this is a stamping thing, so you know it has like the bumblebee and then the filler, and then it has the butterfly and the filler and the flower and the filler and the leaf and the filler. So we're going to use all two of each of those, and I like this: friends are kind to each other's hopes and cherish each other's dreams. That's going to be our middle saying. So let's go ahead and get started. You need for this card a piece of just regular copy paper cut at 8 by 8. So this is just a regular piece of just regular copy paper, nothing special, just 8 by 8. And then you need another piece of white cardstock, and I don't have my inches on side up, so excuse me just a second and let me pull that up. I know that I have been making a mess on this, but it still does the trick. It's just to be a throwaway, and that's what it is. So this is cut at 4 by 8.5. So you could get 2 of these out of one piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and you could do it 4 by 4, or which would be 8 by 4, which is what I did this one in. But I decided I wanted to have a little bit of a lip on the bottom and the top, so I went another 1/2 inch, so it'd be 1/4 of an inch on each side. So that's where I got the 8.5 by 4. But you could do it however you wanted. And then I cut this at 3.5 by 3.25, no, by 3 3/4, so that it will leave a little bit of a border on each side of this. Is that the way it will go? No, I think it will go this way. Oh, that's right. And I want it to be a little bit thicker of a border, so I'm going to go probably something like this. So I'm taking my card base and I will just fold that in half. And you really do need a bone folder for this card. It just really helps burnish the edges and makes them crisp and easy to work with. So I have that, and then this will go on top like that. So we're going to go ahead and decorate this side first, and then we will move to the inside. And I have my I have my piercing mat that I'm just going to put underneath my work spot, because I'm using acrylic blocks and sometimes they need a little bit extra push to make work the best. So I'm going to use a regular size block, and I'm going to get out my Stampin' Scrub and my Stampin' Mist. And this is just to clean my stamps. And I just have a wet side and a dry side, and I always use the right side as the wet side and the left side as my dry side, and you just kind of need to know that when you're doing your stamps. And I'm just going to put this to the side, but all I do is I scrub and then I dry, and then it's clean and easy peasy. So here we go. Pushing my things to the side. I'm going to randomly use... I'm going to start with the biggest stamp just because that's how I'm feeling, which is this. And I'm going to do this one. Let's see. The last one I did it in pinks. I think I'm going to do this one. I think I'll switch it up and I will do these kind of blue purplies for the flower this time, and I'll do the pinks for the butterfly, the yellow and black for the bee, and the old olive and pear pizzazz greens for the leaf. So I have one that's not, you know what though? I can fix that. I can do pool party. Got a new stamp pad. Yes, I did. So I can do pool party and tempting turquoise as my stamps. or my blues, Pink Passion and Blushing Bride for the pinks, Delightful Dijon and Basic Black for the bee, Old Olive and Pear Pizzazz for the leaf. So, and then I'm doing Wisteria Wonder as my card base. And I know that that's not found in any of these, so maybe I should fix that, which is why I think I was doing. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get two purpley colors. How about that? We will do a lilac and a spring iris. I don't have those colors in Stampin' Up! Colors yet, so we'll just go with it. But I'll still do these in pink, and I will use, or in the flower. And I will use the lightest color, yes, for the base of my flower. And I still follow the rule of threes even when I do this, or the odd numbers, because I think that your eye is drawn to things that are in odd numbers. So I will just go with that. So there's those, and then I'm drying, or washing and drying. And each one of these, I'd say, let's see if I did them all the same. I had the arrow pointing up toward this corner. So I'm going to go ahead and do the matching one on this one. Arrow in that corner. Saying it out loud so I won't forget. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, when they have the two stamp sets, or Stampin' sets that are more than one layer, they have a little piece that's a corner piece, and hopefully you guys can see that. I think that you can, but let's put this behind it. So this point, there's a point on each stamp, and those points point in the same direction, so you'll know where to stamp on each one. So then this should fit right on, let's see, should fit. I may have moved it. Okay, right there is where it goes. So I'm going to take my darker set and right here's where it goes. And I like these watercolors because it doesn't matter if you're not exactly right where you think that you are. I don't like take the extra 3 seconds to make sure I'm totally lined up, because I kind of like the look of it being a little haphazard. I love watercolor stamps. So there's those. Isn't that pretty already? And now I'm going to do the same with the, and I'm going to leave these out actually. I put those back, but I still need them for my other stamps. So what I'm going to do is put the one that I'm going to use it on top. So like I know I'm using this one for this color, so it's just going on top. So then we'll go to the butterfly, and I need the butterfly outline and the butterfly center. And we can decide which ones we want to be which. This is the darker one, so I think I'll do that one as the outline. And I will do the Blushing Bride as the inside. This one's a little easier because it's a butterfly, so you can kind of tell where the wings are, but this is its little flap, so it's pointing up. So I'm just going to do this 3 or 5 times, depending on how I'm feeling. I think I'll go just a couple more. Let's see. Like that. And you know what, I'm just going to leave this open, and I'm going to leave this in it. And then I will take my outline. I'm just outlining where I had stamped the other one. Those colors don't exactly go together, but it looks fine in the end. Put that one over there. I'm going to start with the black for the bumblebee bee. And I need the outline for this one. And then I need the filler for the yellow, so I'm just getting them out since they're right next to each other. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll just put him down. And this delightful Dijon is very easy to just lay down right on top of the black. Just like that. This is the old olive, it's the darker of the two, so I'm going to stick with the way I've done that, and I'll do the outline as the darker of the two. And then I will do the lighter part as the center. And I'll start with the darker. It should be fine. There we go. Then I'm just going to fill it in with this lighter color. Kind of haphazardly, actually. That's okay. Kind of looks cool like that. And the front of the card, whoops, is done. Isn't that pretty? So you can go ahead and stick this down if you want to. And we may as well. If you wanted to add a ribbon or something, you certainly could. Now we're going to stamp the inside on that 8x8 piece of just regular paper. And to do this, we're going to take a couple pieces of Post-it note paper, and we're going to stick those in the middle of the card so that we can put our sentiment there. And I just have Post-it paper or Post-it tape. I'm going to move it down just a little bit. And I'm just eyeballing the center. If you feel like you need to measure it, go right ahead. Actually, I'm on grid paper, so I don't know why I don't measure it. I could. Let's see, halfway. Well, I'm still guessing. It's about here. I'm still not measuring. I'm not a measurer. Even when I cook, I don't measure. That looks pretty good. Good enough for me. So let's start this param over again. I'm going to take my purple color and I like to start in the middle just because I like to know that I have the center kind of blocked off. I don't know, just that's my preference. And I'm kind of spacing these out a little bit. I'm not going on top of each other just because I know that I have other things that I need to fill in. And because these have a topping, I'm trying to keep them all about the same position so that it'll be easier for me to match up the second stamp. I sometimes go nuts and then I'm like, oh gosh, how does this work? Which you can still do that. I mean, you can figure it out. It's not tough. It's just makes it a little bit more difficult. And I don't know if any of you struggle with getting your stamps to stamp on a solid surface like this, but if you do, this pad, I'm telling you, really does help a lot. I went a little crazier up there than I did down here, but that's okay. Now that I've done that one, I can clean it. And I'm just going to put it to the side. Well, no, I'm not, because I'm anal. I'll go ahead and put it back where it belongs. And I forgot to look where this goes. So let's try to line them up. Is that right? No. 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 Getting closer though, I think. No. There we go. So I need my darker. So I think you guys can see what I'm talking about when you want the stamp to line up. And that's only on these double stamp sets. Oh, I totally screwed that one up, but that's all right. I'll just live with it. If you're doing a one stamp set, you don't have to, I mean, you can do a one stamp set. You don't have to do a two stamp set. Like I said, just love these kinds of stamps. So I tend to gravitate toward them. I am super thirsty. I'm going to have a drink here in just a second. I have Icy Orange from McDonald's. That's one drink that I will never get too old for. I love it. And I love that McDonald's has their drinks for $1, so I will sometimes on my way home from work stop and get one because I like them so much. So much. Now I'm just going in with the butterfly. Just randomly. And this one you do kind of want to, you know, you don't want to do them all the same direction. And that's probably good. When I was pregnant with my son, I loved, and I still love Kool-Aid. I know, I can't help it. I'm a big kid when it comes to my drinking preferences, but I like Diet Coke, iced tea. I mean, I like a lot of things, but what I usually have in the house for sure is Diet Coke and tea. I have tea, and then I have, if we go to Dairy Queen, not Dairy Queen, why did I even say Dairy Queen? Where did that come from? That's bizarro. If we go to McDonald's for a drink, sometimes will get, well, lots of times I will get 2 drinks, a high C and a diet. And I also like my Polar Pops and my slushies. I can't help it. But I like Coke slushies. I know, I'm weird. But when I was pregnant with my son, I loved lime flavored Kool-Aid, which I still enjoy, but I had lime flavored Kool-Aid every day, all day. And my mom, when she came to visit me in the hospital, she brought a gallon jug of lime flavored Kool-Aid. Isn't that sweet? My mama, she took care of me. And it's just like when we were kids, we used to drink it out of a gallon milk jug. It was just like perfect. Now we'll go in with some bumbly buzzy bees. Just be careful not to get stung. That was dumb, but I'm laughing like it was funny. Because to me it was. I wanted to get this video in before I went to bed tonight, but man, I need to go to sleep. I'm getting tired. I didn't sleep very well last night, and then tomorrow morning I have to get up at like 4:30 to go into work early, so bleh. But that's okay. If I go into work early, I'll get a lot of stuff done, and that will make me happy. I like being there before anybody else. I didn't do very well on getting some of these centered, did I? Oh well, like I say. It's okay. There are no mess-ups in crafting that you can't fix in one way or another. Look at that. At least not the ones that matter. Like, I'm not going to do anything to try to fix that. I don't care. It is okay. And the recipient won't even notice, and if they do, if they care, then shoot, I picked the wrong person to give it to. I like to put these away because I would be so mad if I lost one. Oh, I'm kind of going to do the outline first. I think I like that better. We're almost to the fun part of this card, which is the folding of the paper to make it an explosion. It's too cool. It's kind of like, oh, what's it called? Embossing. I will never get sick of watching that embossing powder dry. I just think it's the coolest thing when it like melts and you can see it. That's how I feel about this explosion box. I don't think I'll ever get sick of opening it up, playing with it. Clean this off. And then, woo, last but not least, the inside of the leaves. Oops, that wasn't on my pad. And you'll notice how I kind of move the paper instead of the stamp. It's just easier for me, but if you'd prefer to move the stamp around, you can do it that way too. So I think I filled them all in. Yay! I'll leave my pad or my ink block over there. And now we are ready for the, oh no, we have one more thing to stamp, don't we? So we're going to take off this middle. Easier said than done. There we go. And I save it because I'm frugal like that. And then I'm going to take my sentiment and put that down. And I'm going to stamp this in the black. Ink it up. And stamp it on down. And don't do that. Oh, that's a little bit crummy, but it's okay. That's all right. Like I like to say, this is crafting in real life, people. Okay. So now we get to fold this, which is oh so much fun, I think. So I'm moving those things out of the way because you're going to need a hard surface for this, and you're going to need your bone folder. First thing you do is you take the corner and you fold it up to the other corner. And you want to make sure that your ink has dried, which, you know, this ink dries very quickly. And then you're going to take, does it have a hole in it? It sure does. Oh well, it'll be fine. And then you take this side and you do the same thing. And you burnish it with your bone folder. Then you take it, turn it upside down, and bring it corner to corner again. Or, I don't know, fold this in half. Maybe that's not called corner to corner. I clearly wasn't quite in the center, but that's okay. Now, when you have it like this, you turn it back up, and if you poke in the middle, you can kind of see how it already wants to lift up right here. Let it do that. Lift those two up, and then fold these two on top of each other. So then you're ended up with this. And just burnish that so it's down. I have a little hole in my paper, so I'm just going to fold that in. I don't know how I got that, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. And then what you need to do, and I do like to use my grid paper for this, it's totally optional. You just need to bring each of these corners into the center. So I just like to line my grid paper so that this is kind of centered. I just look to make sure that these lines are pretty much the same distance. And then I bring the top fold over and push it down. And then the top fold of this one over and push it down. My fingernail is chipping, or my polish is chipping. And then you turn it over and you do the exact same thing to this side. So you bring this one over to the middle and burnish it down, and this one over to the middle and burnish it down. And then you take them and you put them toward the center and burnish them again, because you want these to kind of be able to move both ways for the moment. Your box is almost done, peeps. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to pop them out so that it looks like it did, you know, so it's a triangle. And then you kind of open the middle part and you push these little triangles that you just made in on itself like that. And then you do it to both of them. So I'm pushing that in on itself like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. In and in. And then I burnish it, and I kind of do it pretty good here just to make sure, because this is the final step. Okay, so now that you have all that burnish down, you take your strong adhesive. It can be your tear and tape or your fast fuse are the two that I would recommend. And you just lay this down, and I kind of put extra, like more than you would normally on a card or whatnot, because you want this to really last, because I have a feeling that the person that gets it is going to play with it for a little bit. And if you're anything like me, you're going to play with it for a little bit before you give it to them. So you want to make sure that this sticks down. You don't want to give it to them and have it rip off the card or something. And with the fast fuse, I go ahead and do both sides at once. So I just turn it over, and then I'm going to put all my adhesive on this side as well. And I am so glad that Stampin' Up! Got the fast fuse. It is one of my all-time favorites. Okay, so then we're going to take our card base, and you're going to make sure that this opens the way you want it to open. So this is the way I need it to be, so that's good. So I'm going to take the bottom fast fuse pieces off. And I'm going to stick this to the bottom of my card with the point toward the middle. So you kind of line it up to the best of your abilities with each side of the card and the point in the middle. And you need to be able to fold it, so I just go ahead and do that. And then I open this top part and take all the tape off of, or all of the backing off of this tape. And then I fold the top down, and you can run your burnisher over it. Now, are you ready? Open it up. Yay! That is so cool. I do love this card. I think it's so cool. Yay! It's like a little mouth. Okay. See, I will play with this because I think it's so much fun. And I like how you can put your thumb right here and open it, because it has this open part. So you can just kind of open it like that. Oh, I just think it's adorable. I love this card. And I know that the recipients will love it as well. And like I said, you can do a bow or whatever. Here's one I did with a bow and a different stamp set. Isn't that cute? Oh my word. I love it. So there's that one. And then here's this example that I did yesterday with just different colors, but the same stamp set. And then today's. So I hope you like it. I hope you try it. And yeah, I'd love for you to subscribe to me. And if you're interested in purchasing anything from Stampin' Up, all my links are below. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.